serdecznie w dzisiejszym odcinku Starfielda. Witam was. Myślę, że już tym razem się nic nie będzie tutaj dzieło wam. Pewien widz w końcu mi to pomógł i w końcu to działa. Tak mi się przynajmniej wydaje. Zobaczymy, ile w tym jest prawdy. Czy to działa. Dobra. Jak już kradniemy, to zacznijmy kraść na zapisie. Bo ja tu doszedłem sobie. Chciałem zacząć, ale tak trochę kradnę. Chcę wam pokazać, że się da. O! Już coś popsułem. No dobra. Trochę tak chcę pokazać, że tu się da kraść. To nie jest tak, że się nie da. Jeszcze popatrzmy, co my tu mamy. Aha. No dobra. To tutaj panowie badacie. Dobra, i tutaj chyba wszystko sobie badali chłopy. No ale... Dobra. Tutaj widzimy, co tu jest. Dźwignia mechaniczna jeszcze jej nie aktywujemy. Zobaczymy, co tu jest do podkradnięcia. Aha, nie ma już nic. A, save. Dobra, mistrzowski. A? Haha! No i co? Zatkało was kakao. No, się da, się da. A co my tutaj mamy?
Hi, how you doing?
Bardzo dobrze, lepiej nie pytać. O, mój statek na weekend, chłopie. Dobra. Więc sobie jedziemy. W ogóle zobaczmy, jakie mam dzisiaj zadania. Misję. Mamy drzewo z Nowej Atlantydy. Więc pójdźmy sobie do niego. I zobaczmy, cóż nam chłop powie ciekawego. Port kosmiczny. Czekajcie chwilę. Dzisiaj nagrywam w niedzielę i nie wypada w niedzielę niby, ale no jako, że mamy święta, no to tu każdy z życzeniami, wiadomo, tak? Wszystkiego dobrego. Także wam też również wszystkiego dobrego. I Starfieldowa wersja świąteczna też się pojawi najprawdopodobniej na kanale. Zobaczymy, czy to będzie jedna z ostatnich, czy nie. Zobaczymy, jak to wyjdzie. Jeżeli wyjdzie wszystko dobrze, to będzie wszystko dobrze. Także zobaczymy, jak to wyjdzie.
Wonder where this will all lead.
No, to prowadzi nas do dobrego, tak myślę przynajmniej. No, ale to dobrze, to za chwilę. Tutaj zrobimy cięcie malutkie. O! O nie! To mnie nie pocieszy taka muzyka.
It seems my concerns were valid all along.
Dobra,
Well,
porozmawiajmy.
there's good news and bad news.
Dla
The good news
koronawirusa jeszcze
is that
czasem
my
tutaj się
suspicions were
zatrzymały.
correct. There is something wrong with the tree.
Bethesda nie
I will
przewidziała.
report my findings to Mast immediately with no small amount of satisfaction. The phrase "I told you so" may even be uttered more than once. Well, from a certain point of view. In an admittedly
No, na
somewhat
samolubny
selfish
sposób, jak
manner.
zawsze.
The bad news, as it were, is that the internal composition of the tree is changing. In this particular case, the tree is now regularly emitting ultra-low frequency sound waves. They're nearly imperceptible now, but they're growing in strength. This is something we've never observed before. Depending on how large these waves grow, consequences for the city could be disastrous. I must consult with my colleagues in Mast at once. Thank you for your assistance. I hope these credits are adequate compensation.
No i dobra, i mamy kolejnego questika zrobionego. Oj, troszeczkę świetna wychodzą. Moi kochani, ja wam powiem tak. Coś tam bym chciał porozmawiać.
The data
tak?
from the biosensors speaks for itself.
A sprawdź później co u niego. U Kielona. Nie, Keltona. Keltona, panie, na jedno wychodzi. Mianowicie, dzięki widzowi oglądacie te piękne widoki, które się nie tną w końcu. Było z tym roboty, ja naprawdę bym prosił, żebyście podziękowali mu w komentarzach chociaż. Za to, że się uda dalej to oglądać. No i jest piękna, ładna gra, a nie, że się tnie klatka po klatce. Możemy podziwiać te piękne widoki. Gdzieś tu widok przy Złotych Tarasach, tak? Ja to nazwałem kiedyś. Możecie dzięki niemu to podziwiać. Dobrze, a teraz zobaczmy, jakie mamy jeszcze misje na ogółem, no tak, jakie mam. Dom marzeń. Dobrze, stare śmieci to jest powrót do roboty. No, zobaczymy. Praca dla żołnierza. Pogadaj ze szefem załogi. W porcie Nowej Atlantydy. Zlokalizuj... Nie wiem. Nie wiem. Ukończ... Też nie wiem. Ale no możemy sobie zrobić questika takiego, że powrót do roboty, dom marzeń. Pogadaj z szefem załogi. To sobie zrobimy. Bo tutaj zmiany tu już chyba zrobione, tak? Kradzież zasilania, tak, to już zrobiliśmy sobie i jest fajnie, tak? Nie ma co tu dalej robić, tak? A na drobnych sprawdź później co u Kielona. No dobra, zobaczmy sobie z tym Chinosem naszym. Gdzie on ten Chinos jest? Tutaj, tak? To płyniemy sobie. Przylecimy do niego. Triumfalnie. W ogóle zobaczmy sobie, co już za sprzęt się udało ogarnąć podczas naszych podróży. Więc wejdźmy sobie w ekwipunek. Skafandery. Czekaj, nowe przedmioty. Nie to. Skafander. Ubiór, o. Taką fajną rzecz mi się udało ogarnąć. Myślę, że to będzie dużo lepszym takim... Mamy tego aż 6 sztuk, taka ciekawostka. I ja bym się tego z chęcią już pozbył. Tutaj mamy takie coś. No, jest różnica w cenie. No, ale nie ma co tu się... Mina odłamkowa, no, mamy tego trochę. I różne też się udało ogarnąć. Klucz do loży, trofea nawet, o. No i to mamy. Nie wiem co z tym zrobić, to jest dużo warte i moim zdaniem warto by to mieć. Ale w sumie jak jeszcze tutaj mini cięcie zrobię, także za chwilę się tutaj widzimy. No i proszę Państwa, wracamy po krótkiej przerwie, już jesteśmy praktycznie prawie... O, proszę bardzo, dostarczycie dekal? Nie, jednak stylowa kurtka, jak na takie czasy. Także idziemy sobie do celu. Myślę, że trzeba porozmawiać z każdym, jak to w każdej grze. Ale nam się nie śpieszy. Wszystko się udało odnaleźć. W końcu ja mam troszeczkę więcej do pogadanki, bo wtedy no to trochę marnie wyglądała ta gra, a ta nasza idzie nasza działka, którą mamy. No, także trzeba tu porozmawiać. O, powiem, rozmowa nie będzie wyglądała obiecująco, ale myślę, że się uda. Ja myślę, że tu jeszcze jakieś questy mamy na temat naszej współpracy na tej planecie, które to bardzo pięknie wszystko wygląda, mi się to podoba.
Pull it for leeches, get it fixed up, and let her know we'll have it ready as soon as we can.
Ah, you are new probationary then? Crew Chief Herat. Pleasure to be working with you.
It's my job to make sure all you rocket jockeys are ready for anything that comes at you up there. Now, Manifest says we're fitting you out with one comms repair suite.
In addition to the standard issue welcome kit all probationary pilots get for their first mission. Med packs, some small arms, couple spare ship parts, all the essentials in case of any surprises up there.
My people will have everything on your ship before you lift off. Won't even know they were there. So, paying a visit to the people of scenic Tau Ceti 2. Nice easy one for your first job. Just keep your head on swivel and you'll come home safe. Any questions before you head out?
Oczywiście, no.
Nothing too dangerous, if that's your concern. The repair suite's mostly just wiring and circuit boards.
Czyli za
The
bajerę
welcome kit
dostajemy.
has some goodies in there I wouldn't leave sitting around when company comes to visit. But it's nothing some proper storage can't make safe.
I honestly didn't realize it had people living on it until we got your record.
Report they gave us seemed clean. No known hostile outposts. But I wouldn't say that's permission to let your guard down. Just watch out for wildlife and pirates. Keep those med packs handy and you'll be fine.
Chłopie.
Then I
po
won't
ostatnich
keep you.
tych to już jest
Make us
tak
look good
spokojnie,
out
że
there,
jej.
recruit.
No dobra, czyli to będzie nasz nowy statek. Czy tam jest nasz stary statek? Dobra. Jak nie? No ale w sumie nie dostał. Wszystko co tu macie może być przeciwko wam wykorzystane. O. Gaśnica to już nie te czasy, że się nabieramy. Dobra. Okej, tu już mamy ogarnięty temat. Zobaczmy sobie na questsiki. Pazji, Erdani. Ja nawet nie wiem, zasadnikami nad tym, powrót do roboty. Ruszaj. Nie. Swój dom, ale stoi, odtyce, odsydoni. Drobne. Sprawcą kielona przyjmij misję rodzaju ładunek z tablicy misji. Ukończ projekt. Wytwórz lub zmodyfikuj, odwieź punkt orientacyjny na Księżycu. I to mogłoby być fajne. Ale sprawdź to. I porozmawiaj z sierżantem Jumim. I zbuduj placówkę na porozmawiaj z barmanką w airporcie. Może porozmawiajmy z panią sobie, no. Mamy dużo misji. Mamy... O, i pani w airporcie to jest tam, dobra. Idziemy sobie tak od questika do questika. No niby już mogliśmy lecieć, ale... Ja to wam powiem tak, po co to odlatywać od razu? Tyle questów tracić na tej planecie. Potem ludzie będą narzekać, że ale mogłeś jeszcze poniuchać, jeszcze mogłeś to porobić. Mogłem, więc trochę jeszcze porobimy. Potem się okaże, że na marne, że questy jakieś niefajne robię, ale czasem warto. Już jesteśmy blisko tego. Ktoś chce? A, ktoś chce.
Yes?
Spec do inżyniery w placówek?
Yes?
If you're hiring, I could really use the work. Trust me, you'll be getting a bargain. Why is that? In my experience, the right offer is always worth waiting for.
O!
I heard you the first time and didn't care then either.
Oho!
This isn't getting us anywhere.
No dobra,
That's
no.
the best I can do. Take it or leave it. Fine. See you around.
No dobrze, a ten Geron Aker? Porozmawiamy z nim.
Hey, if you're looking for a weapon specialist,
O!
I could really use the work to pay off some debts. Anyone can shoot at targets, but I take them out. You're not gonna find a better shot anywhere else.
Ja powiem tak.
So, are we making a deal or what? The kind that need to be paid off quickly, or else I'm in big trouble. And if you don't mind, I'd kind of like to keep the details of that to myself. Unless you're agreeing to
Dobrze
hire me,
powiedział,
of
że ma
course.
długi.
I'm not asking for that much. Just my fair share.
Ile?
You're asking me to work for less than the going rate? Why would I do that? That's true.
No właśnie.
You know what? I like you. Maybe we can work something out.
Dobra.
You don't know what you're talking about. I can't afford to cut you a deal. I'm sorry.
Kurde no.
Then quit wasting my time. If you change your mind, you know where to find me.
Znaczy na razie to wiecie, to jest takie
Pardon.
czyste.
Hey there. You look like the planet hopping type.
Wow, to ta też
Got
jakaś...
any room on your ship for someone like me? Plenty. I'm comfortable on it.
Oj, przepraszam. Źle kliknąłem.
Aye, aye, Captain. I won't overcharge you. I'm grateful for the offer.
Oh.
I've been out of a job since I left the Freestar Rangers.
Oh, not this
Ile?
time, Nissa. I'm fine. I really am.
You're short on credits?
None of those rocks you spend time digging up are going to keep you warm at night. I'm just looking out for you.
If you don't like it, find someone else to deal with.
Wolałbym ją mieć.
That's true. I try to be. In my experience, the right offer is always worth waiting for.
Ciężka z nimi
I
sprawa.
feel for you, but I can't work for that little. I have to make a living.
Teraz
Oh, well, I guess there's no accounting for taste, huh? If you change your mind, I'll be here.
miejmy nadzieję, że oni stąd sobie nigdzie nie idą. No dobra, zobaczmy co się jeszcze stara Morgan, to tam.
Ever been to Sidonia? Anything I can do for you? Oh, sure. There's always tons of travel into New Atlantis, so there's no shortage of people to meet. I love talking with the new people and hearing about their journeys. Not to mention, it's also nice and safe. Unlike my brother's job. Well, of course. He's a Marine stationed in Sidonia. My whole
Czyli będzie
family
kolejny
is
gość.
worried
Właśnie
about you.
dlatego warto rozmawiać.
My dad worked his butt off so that we could
Ogółem
all
warto
have safe
rozmawiać,
jobs here in
a nie
New
podejmować
Atlantis.
kroki.
But Chris
tego
went off to
zdania.
Sidonia the first chance he got. He says he's okay and that he loves his job and all
No i
that.
myślę, że tak naprawdę
But I
zawsze
don't
warto
think he
rozmawiać.
understands how hard this is on our family. Finally, someone
No, dokładnie,
understands.
dokładnie. Może jakiś kwestik?
I guess I can only hope that Chris will come to his senses one day. But anyways, I apologize. I didn't mean to dump all of that onto you. I just had to get that all off my chest, I guess.
Możemy się dogadać.
There's a huge tree in the Embassy District, across from the mass station.
To
Trust
rozmawialiśmy.
me, it may sound dumb, but I think everyone should see it at least once when they're in the city. It's so cool. Or maybe I just love trees.
Czyli nic
See you.
mi ciekawego nie powiedziałaś, koleżanko.
You picked a good day to drop by. Bartender's making them strong. You're with Constellation? Damn, that's cool. I've always admired you guys. Exploring the stars full
Może go
time seems like a
zwerbujemy?
dream come true. It seems like we have
Z
that in
Polski,
common.
co nie?
Personally, I'm here looking for work. I just quit my job as a weapon tester for MAST.
Moim zdaniem to jest fajne.
Oh, yeah, plenty of us. There's a whole branch of MAS's scientific wing called DRIP. That's dedicated to developing new weapons for the UC military.
Dobre, dobre.
No, I'm not. I'm actually hoping for a crew gig. Lots of pilots stop by the
Czyli można mieć
viewport on
lepszy
their way
film.
into town.
Ale
Figure
ja
if I
mam
hung around
stary
long
za
enough, I'd
darmo.
run into someone who was
Robota i
hiring.
fana.
I'm billing myself as a weapons expert, sniper tech specifically. Most travelers like having someone on their crew who's good with firearms. The settled systems are no picnic.
Oni tak opowiadają, ja jestem ciekawy, co tam w ogóle.
Well, I'll be damned. What a coincidence. Working on a ship sounds perfect. I was hoping my next job would get me out of the city. What's your offer?
Super.
I'm a reasonable guy, but that's just too low. Well, that's too bad. I thought we had a good thing going. If you have a change of heart, feel free to come back
Czyli w
anytime.
skrócie, ten też by chciał, tak, chce też dla mnie, wszyscy chcą dla mnie pracować. A ty kim jesteś? Łowca, o, fajny.
Not used to people coming up to me. The suit usually scares them off. Although I guess that's my fault, isn't it?
Fajne. Lord Vader, kurczę.
I guess you could say I've always had it. Once you've been all over, like I have, you might find yourself in
Naprawdę
something
to
like
brzmi
this
jak,
too.
brzmi jak taki Lord Vader, co nie?
Yeah, well, I go all over. A little psychological warfare up front tends to make things
Na
easier.
pewną pozycję, tak? To jest pewna pozycja.
Retired, actually. From too many lives to count. But I've been all those things, yeah.
No jestem ciekawy, co on tam fajnego robił.
I spend a lot of time in the fringes these days. God help you if you come across something someone wants.
Ciekawie.
You'd think it was things like civilizations and factions that cause people to want to shoot each other. No, even without that, it's still winner take all. Oh, you're on to me.
Tak, bystry jestem.
Of course. That's what makes the reality so tragic. Wait a second. I think I'm in danger of having a real conversation with someone for a change. Better stop here. I'm sure we'll see each other again.
Albo zadziała jak pan lusterko w Wiedźminie,
I'll see you around.
albo się okaże, że, no nie wiem, tu coś się na pewno wydarzy z tym ziomkiem. Ale jak spożyję, to ukradnę, tak? Będzie zapłać za swój, ten, drink, czy co to tam
Hope
chcieli.
life is treating you well. Let me know if I can get you anything. Hey there. Always
just
nice
know.
to see a new face. First time in New Atlantis? Oh boy. I didn't mean for you to take it personally. It's just something to say to customers. Break
Dobra,
the ice,
wynajmujemy ją.
Listen,
Tak lody. I skóry
you just
idą.
relax. Make yourself comfortable. You're welcome to stay as long as you want. That work for you, new guy? Let me know if there's anything I can get you. I hear there's some sort of citizens group trying to get the old Valroon embassy torn down. When I first
Gotcha.
heard about it, I thought it was a bit extreme, but really, would you want to move into that place? Me neither. And it's not like they're ever coming back. House Valroon, I mean? Well, at least not make nice and be all diplomatic.
Coś
We all
się
know how that
powalczymy, dzisiaj
went.
spróbuję taki mam zrobić w miarę fajny odcinek.
Yep. Spaceport traffic keeps me pretty busy.
Kurde.
But
co?
just between you and me, I've got something in the works that'll change everything. A new drink that'll make this place famous, galaxy-wide. Well, At the moment, it's what's not in it that's an issue right now. I don't have everything for
Czyli
the
znajdź
recipe.
składniki pewnie.
I made a deal with the hauler to bring me some small samples of an ingredient I think will make all the difference. But it never showed up. Turns out the guy I hired was also hired by a few other folks. The kind of folks who ship less than legal cargo. Security got wind, and the whole lot was impounded. Now they're just sitting on it,
Ale dzień
taking
dobry,
their
będzie
sweet
tak
time
naraz?
like they always do. It's killing me. I submitted all the paperwork, believe me. It won't amount to anything, but I did it. And really, I'm not even certain this is what I need to finish the recipe. I think it is. I need to get my hands on that cargo. I really do. It's gonna keep me awake nights if I don't try. Before we say anything else, I am in no way asking you to do anything that might violate any of the many, many laws in place here in New Atlantis or the larger United Colonies.
Ale jak mogę
This is just one friend talking to another friend, asking if maybe that friend could possibly find a way to get her important
Dokładnie, no.
cargo out of the impound. And if, hypothetically, that were done in a less than 100% legal way, well, that might not be the worst thing in the world. You, with me on this?
Oczywiście.
Surely you're not seriously considering this course of action. The last thing we need is UC security on our backs.
God, you have no idea what a relief this is. I'm obviously not expecting you or anyone to go in guns blazing and taking hostages or something. I just figure there has to be a way to get what I
Ale
need.
przecież ja jestem ZK, tak?
I know a few things, but not much. The cargo is being held down at the spaceport, not in the security office. Still, they use the same access cards. If you had one, it'd work. How or
Dobra.
why you would have a UC security access card is none of my business, of course. I'm sure I'm better off not knowing. Beyond that, the ship decks over there might also be able to get in. I don't know any of them, or I'd be talking to them instead of you. No offense. Like I said, I submitted the usual security release forms. But because
Ale
my cargo is
dla mnie to
tied up
jest
with a bunch of,
na
again,
rękę,
totally
na
unrelated
rękę.
illegal stuff, I don't expect the forms to matter. At all. I went and talked to an officer at the office, too. Yumi. Sergeant, maybe? He was polite, but unhelpful. I declined to suggest that as their new slogan. New Atlanta Security. Polite, but unhelpful. Truth in advertising, eh? I'm not worried. I'm annoyed. Wait, are you saying I should be worried? No, of course not. It'll be fine. Totally fine. I trust you. I'm obviously not expecting you or anyone to go in guns blazing and taking hostages or something. I just...
Dobra.
Stop by anytime you'd like to catch up.
Mamy jeszcze kolejnego. Wow, tu jest noc. Pierwszy raz widzę noc w
Be
tej grze.
careful if you run into those ecliptic jerks. They fly around like they own the settled systems. And they like to use old, abandoned facilities as outposts.
Nie, no
You
mi się
know.
podoba. A poczekajcie, jeszcze coś jednego fajnego zorganizujemy. Mamy umiejętności. Mamy troszeczkę punktów na pewno do wydania, więc fajnie by było. Medycyna, pilotaż to nie. Społeczne. Perswazja, handel. Kradzież byśmy to... Negocjacja, izolacja, dyplomacja, postęp. To może być fajne. Co tu mamy? Witalność. Więc sobie zrobimy pozyskiwanie. O. No i super. I mamy. A ile jeszcze mamy punktów? Mamy 0 punktów, no ale coś mamy za to, tak? Coś powoli się rusza w danym kierunku. A jeszcze zobaczmy sobie misje, jakie nam teraz się... Nawiąż kontakt. Marzeń, śmieci, spytaj o Kielona, przyjmij stabilizację, ukończ projekt badawczy, wytwórz lub zmodyfikuj, odbierz punkt orientacyjny na Apollo. No to możemy zrobić, albo z sierżantem Yumim porozmawiać. Dobra. Zróbmy to. Nie wiem, gdzie to sprawdzić, ale jeżeli to trzeba jechać do statku, no to pojedziemy do statku znowu. Taki troszeczkę biegający ten odcinek, ale po prostu chcę pokazać wam troszeczkę tego miasta. Tym bardziej, że ma to też swój klimat nocą. No i co? No i przede wszystkim to, że mamy praktycznie tak naprawdę grę naprawioną. Seria przetrwa chyba dzięki temu nawet. Pokład, kokpit. Zróbmy E.
Was a pleasant change of scenery? Sidonia is an industrial town. The people there tend... Okay.
Tajty, majty, krajty, dobra. A co ty, przyjacielu, robisz?
I heard you're fluent in over 24 verbal and body languages. Remarkable.
Dobra, mamy. Aha. Także tutaj zrobimy krótkie cięcie, ja sobie zobaczę, co mogę zostawić, co mogę wziąć. Gdzie ona jest? Junia, gdzie ty kuźwa poszłaś? Dawaj. Proszę się nie gwizdać.
No bounty.
Jeszcze.
Oh, Captain. I don't know if we've met yet. I'm Sergeant Yumi. You wouldn't be here about the job, would you? Might not be worth your time, considering your rank. You did, huh? Gotta admit, I was against the sign at first. Felt cheesy, you know? Like we're hiring a dishwasher or one of those dancing clowns. But here you are. Can't argue with effectiveness. And if nothing else, New Atlantis security is just that. Effective. When we're fully staffed, that is. But we're not. Long story. And need some help. You interested? Well, first things first, I have to ask. Do you have any security experience at all? It sure counts for something. I mean, you're alive. And resilience is definitely an important trait for any officer. Well, I think I've heard all I need. Your first assignment couldn't be easier. Go to mast and check in with Agent Plato at Aegis. There was a package left at a dead drop, and they need UC security to handle it. He'll fill you in on the details. You know, MAST, the Military, Administrative, and Scientific Triumvirate. Giant building in the center of the city? Headquarters of the entire United Colonies? I really should have given you a more thorough interview. Aegis? They're basically UC intelligence. They help identify threats to New Atlantis before they become problems. While we're separate departments, there are times we need to rely on each other, so it's important to keep a good working relationship. We do Agent Plato this favor, and maybe he'll toss us some intel when an investigation's stalled. Tit for tat. You know how it works. Well, just because you're bringing it here doesn't mean that's where it'll end up. As for why, you can ask Aegis. As far as I'm concerned, it's none of my business.
Dobra, teraz zróbmy
See you
jedną rzecz.
later.
Zapiszmy grę, bo mnie to ciekawi. Stój.
How's the investigation going? Yeah, we all got friends who need things. But we've also got rules and regulations, and I'm not going to bend them. Your friend can file a request like everyone else.
No dobra, no to w takim
See you
razie
later, Captain.
nie zaprzyjaźnimy się, ale jeżeli się nie zaprzyjaźnimy, możemy też porozmawiać, przyjacielu, na inne tematy. Na przykład takie jak nikt was nie widzi nic, to możemy zamknąć drzwi.
Yeah?
Dobra. Tego oczy nie widzą, tego duszy nie żal.
I'm going to pretend you didn't just steal that.
Proszę nie komentować takich przykrych rzeczy. Tak jest, zithaj i te inne. Popychaj. No ja zapiszę grę, bo ja coś czuję, że za chwilę będzie ciężka sytuacja. Tak, ten strój poganiacza. Termos. Wszystko się chyba uda. Gdzie to jest? To jest to. Wszystko się uda? Dobra, wszystko się udało. Dobra. Zszywacz, zmywacz.
Chill for a cup of coffee right about now. Just one quiet day. Not too much to ask for?
I desire no company. Leave.
Mamy różne pomysły. Jakbym otworzył drzwi, nie, lepiej nie. Dobra, to co mogłem, to tu
You didn't
zrobiłem.
hear this from me, but those eclectic mercenaries? The factions use them sometimes. Freestar Collective and UC both.
Dobra, także idziemy dalej. Tu już zrobiliśmy swoje. Przepraszam bardzo, że mnie lekka chrypa łapie, no ale jak to się mówi. Chyba zapisywanie. Dobra, zobaczmy, cóż dalej z kłyścikami. Idziemy tam w takim razie. Zrobimy, żeby było trochę ostrzej. Może się uda przejść. A jak to jest zawsze zwinąć dodatkowego. Piękny stateczek, piękna noc. Nie, ale jak ta gra, ja mam takie pocieszenie, że to działa. To ja się cieszę, tak? Ekspercki.
Hey, this really isn't a good place for civilians to be hanging around.
O!
There's something I can help you with?
Oczywiście.
Oh, security impounded a ton of cargo and didn't have storage space for it all, so we're holding on to some of it until they can run inventory. So, you need something, or... not really sure. Whenever they get through their backlog, I guess. Is there a reason you're asking?
Sorry, bud.
Nah, that's okay. I think I got it. Yeah, I hope so. All right, look, don't tell anyone I did this for you.
No,
I
widzicie.
lose my job over it.
Udało się.
If anyone asks, I had nothing to do with it.
A teraz zapiszmy grę. Nikomu nic nie
You
powiemy.
got it? 1 second. All right, make it quick, will you?
Taki skonfiskowany, że tu nic dobrego to praktycznie nie było. O co tu kaman? Dobra, zobaczmy jeszcze jedną rzecz. Ekwipunek. Co to było tak naprawdę? Nowy... Chleb? No to... się naprawdę to się nie opłacało, no ale... Dobra, ten ma 25, 15... To jest jakieś w ogóle... O! Ten jest szans na zastraszenie plus 5 do regeneracji. To wychodzi na to, że ten jest chyba najlepszy, tak? Bo ten. No dobra, no. Weźmy sobie to i tyle. Idźmy tej klientce zostawić tą paczkę. Niech da spokój. Tyle tak naprawdę. Będzie dużo na pewno do wycięcia, żeby się fajnie wyglądało. Oczywiście, że tu nie zatrzymuję. Może coś by złego wynikło z tego. Te skafandery to się pewnie przydają, albo pewnie nie są nic warte. To ja.
Hope life is treating you well. Let me know if I can get you anything. Hey there, new guy. Good to see you again. Can I get you something? Bit of a slow news day around here. Ah, well, speaking of news, some folks are convinced David Barron, you know, the SSN anchor, is some sort of Freestar sympathizer. Ridiculous, if you ask me. Sure, they ran a couple of stories about Aquila City that weren't totally critical, but come on. Have you ever been? It's really not that bad. Anyway, that's the sort of high-stakes stuff people talk up while waiting on a flight. So glad you asked, aren't you? I can tell. Oh, no way. You really got it? I probably don't want to know what you did to get this, right? I mean, I want to know, but it's maybe better if I don't. I certainly hope not. This is a huge deal to me. but it's not worth either of us murdering over. Well, look, I can assure this will all be worth it in the end. Matter of fact, I'm going to let you have the first ever sample. On top of that, you get free drinks. Not like unlimited free drinks, but you want a little pick-me-up now and then? I got you covered. I need some time to work on what comes next. But this was the difficult part, I think. Really, thank you so much.
Whoa, panie.
You're in the right place.
Co tu ta piękna ma? O! Kurde, tutaj to jest... Plus pas. Brak. Odkup? Wszystko jako wspomagacze, tak? No dobra.
Catch you later.
No i mamy kolejny kwestik z głowy.
Hey.
I jesteśmy u agenta. Dobra, trochę eksploringu na początku.
Okay, hello. Defense Research has about a dozen active contracts right now. We'll see which ones pan out.
There are so many different groups across the settled systems, it's hard to keep up with all the things we do here, the tech we develop.
May I help you?
Benefits all of humanity.
Dobrze, już jesteśmy po chwili. Tutaj zobaczmy, co on ma do powiedzenia.
Yeah, it's nice being in a lab again, and the facilities here at MAST are the best in the galaxy. The only thing I don't have is my research slate. The thought of having to start over from scratch, well, I feel like Sisyphus pushing his boulder up the hill. Xenobiological stuff on the flora we grew in the facility. We made regular jumps to MAST, so thankfully I don't need all of it, just my most recent notes. Have you ever lost a document because you forgot to save? It takes twice the mental energy to rewrite it. You remember the basic idea, but there's no inspiration behind it. You're trying to pick up a memory that you told yourself was safe to forget. Oh, great. I'll give you the coordinates to the station. It orbits Voss in the Alpha Centauri system, so it won't be too far of a jump. Just be careful. I don't know if those zealots are still there. If they are, definitely do not engage. It's home. It doesn't matter how long I've been away, that will never change. Now, this lab will take some getting used to. Sometimes I go looking for the bathroom and end up in the storage closet.
Wow.
The short answer is xenobiology, but I get that that's a pretty broad category. My specialty is alien flora, but as a lead, I managed pretty much every department on the station. Maybe now that I'm here, I'll go back to my roots, so to speak. Goodbye.
We're on the cutting edge of technology here. It's an exciting place to be.
Hello. Not enough data. I can't file a report just based on this.
Ty kim jesteś?
Okay. Engineering is going to need to run those numbers again.
Nie opłacało. Dobra, idziemy dalej. Jeszcze tu musimy zeksplorować. Także tutaj widzimy się za chwilę. Dobrze, już wróciliśmy. Chciałem tam jedną rzecz sobie załatwić. Porozmawiajmy. Mam rybkę.
Oh, our backlog of medical claims is astronomical. It is my pleasure to attempt to steer this lumbering bureaucracy towards doing something useful for its citizens, keeping them healthy. My background's in medicine, but I like to think I've graduated from helping one patient at a time to, well, all of them at once. I really do. No group has done more for humanity than the United Colonies, and it is gratifying to be a part of that. Keeping our citizens in good health is vital to our continued success. You're always welcome to stop by.
Pewnie będzie trzeba wrócić później do niego za chwilę, ale dobra. Mieliśmy konkretne miejsce, choinkę mają też. Dobra.
You are, of course, welcome at any time.
Jeszcze sekundkę, najpierw przejrzyjmy wszystkie możliwości. O, to nie wiem, czy oglądaliście grę w Darwin, tam Sławek siedział z tym, z Judaszem i Judasz to sobie dotykał, tak? Może jak ktoś nie ten, to sobie z chęcią patrzy, to różnie bywa. No i dobra, przechodzimy do głównego, konkretnego tutaj ziomka. Tanio tutaj macie, tanie
The
rzeczy.
security of the United Colonies is every citizen's responsibility.
The range is available if you need it, but I better not see you pointing a weapon anywhere else.
I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to discuss the details of my division's work. We're the intelligence arm of the United Colonies. Think of it this way. UC security responds to threats. It's Aegis's job to anticipate and prevent them. I'm the acting head of Aegis, the intelligence division here in Mast. I oversee all our active projects and agents in the field, and I'm afraid that's about as much detail as I can give you. All you really need to know is that we're here to serve and we're the good guys. Our main priority is the safety and security of the citizens and assets of the United Colonies, wherever they may be. We keep an eye on, well,
Każdy chce być
everything.
dobry, każdy chce dobrze, a potem...
That's a level of detail I can't get into. Don't worry. We've got plenty of good people working hard.
Donosiciele.
That is a word that has been used, both for good and ill, to describe us at times. Well, you're certainly entitled to that opinion, and there are plenty of others who share it.
No i
We'll
dobrze.
be looking out for you just the
Politycy w
same.
Polsce też tak mówią, że będą dbać o obywateli. Nazywasz się...
No. My parents would never have been so presumptuous. Every agent who joins Aegis gets to choose a pseudonym, pending approval, of course. I chose this for myself when I signed on. I have, of course, since learned that I am not nearly as smart as I thought I was as a younger man. I suppose none of us are. They've got you doing grunt work, Captain. Hardly the reward I'd expect for a member of the Vanguard. Admirable. I bet qualities like that are precisely why you've moved so quickly up the ranks.
To już jakiś awans zrobiłem?
Oh, it wasn't a compliment. Just an observation. In any case, let me fill you in. We have a dead drop that we think has been compromised. So I'd like someone from UC Security to handle the pickup instead. Take the package back to Sergeant Yumi, and he'll check it in as evidence before it gets routed back to Aegis. We think non-UC affiliated groups have their eye on it, and are using it to identify field agents. Normally, we just burn the location, but we didn't get this intel until after the drop. So we're going to need non-Aegis personnel to do the pickup to cover our tracks. Well, I told the sergeant that anyone hired for this job should get my stamp of approval first. Nothing personal. It's just this sort of work isn't part of your normal detail. Take the NAT to the spaceport. There should be a Galbank ATM right next to the station. The package is taped under one of the benches. Grab it and deliver it to Sergeant Yumi and the job's done. Just the usual reports from agents in the field on persons of interest. Right now, the information isn't as important as who we're tracking. Good luck with the mission.
No i super, no i jedziemy dalej, tak? Dalej kurierka, przyjść to, we w to. Ale chcę wam pokazać, że Zobaczymy, gdzie to nas wytransportuje. Już jesteśmy, proszę Państwa, bierzemy. Przekazujemy dalej. No ładna rzecz.
I wonder what the artist was trying to represent.
Może być awans.
Still have questions? Nicely done. It's really hard to find good help these days. That being said, my luck seems to be turning around. We've gotten a lot of new personnel as of late, not just you. Who knew all I had to do was put up a sign? As am I. And the best part is, since you're all part-timers, there's no paperwork. Anyway, here's your payment. And if I have any more work for you, I'll let you know.
O, i grosz do grosza, grosz do grosza.
Ah, if it isn't my favorite it's a lot of work, as always. People like to say, New Atlantis is the safest city in the settled systems. How hard could your job be? Well, safety doesn't happen by accident. It takes a lot of work and a lot of people. I've got nothing at the moment, but come back. Let me know if you have any questions.
A więc jeszcze wstąpmy do... No i już jesteśmy na miejscu. Ciekawe, co ma nam do powiedzenia. Kto tam wywnioskował, kiedy zobaczyła.
Ah, well, isn't this a pleasant surprise? I hadn't expected to run into you again. Collecting and analyzing data regarding the internal composition of this tree, and some drastic changes happening over time. You do recall aiding me with that, don't you? Yes, well, I had good reason to be distressed. You had already helped me establish that there is something unprecedented going on with this tree. Wow. Now my superiors have been made aware. There is growing concern. Oh my. A bit of an unintentional pun, isn't that? Well, concerned that things are going to get worse. The data we gathered points to a definitive trend. The vibrations coming from this tree are increasing in strength and frequency. Because we've never seen this before, not on this scale, we have absolutely no idea what the upper limit is. We don't know when or even if this will stop. It's imperceptible by normal human standards now, but given time... While I hesitate to speculate on the possibilities, well, none of them are good. Yes, and not just humans. All organic life will be affected. Low-frequency vibrations are not uncommon in this species. The vibrations help disperse nutrients throughout the tree. However, normally the vibrations are imperceptible. If the vibrations continue to increase in frequency and strength, prolonged exposure could lead to harmful and potentially deadly side effects. It's imperative we find a way to correct this. There is data regarding other, younger members of the species. Unfortunately, there are some, shall we say, personal issues with acquiring it. Personnel issues, if you understand me. What? No, that is ridiculous. I am a professional. One of the other researchers in MAST, Emilio Hadek, has research I believe could be vital to my work. He and I don't see eye to eye, and so far he's refused to turn it over to me. I'm hoping that if someone else were to ask, he might be more inclined to relinquish it. What do you say? He's held a grudge against me for years. It's petty, really. I'm sure he thinks that doing this now will hold back my career. He wouldn't listen when I try to explain this isn't about me. There are bigger concerns. I suggested nothing of the sort. Although, now that I think about it, I confess, I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Oj, coś tutaj
Anyway,
szkielon.
I just need his data. I am sure that can be acquired without force, or the threat of it. 90% sure. The last time I saw him, he was being assigned to sample collection out near the agricultural areas. I'm sure you'll find him there.
No dobra, moi kochani, to na dzisiaj na tyle. Tutaj miał piękno, optymistyczne widoki. Także wielkie dzięki. Stawcie lajka, subskrypcję i dajcie znać, czy się w końcu nie czy nie. Miało się nie. Także wielkie dzięki i do zobaczenia.